G'day, lads and ladies. It's Twig and Pradith back to commentate on a final 2v2 between these four players, where each player has now been paired up with each other player on the previous two games, with this game being the last one. Looking for the MVP from the three matches, we have Pigs and Tank Tom each with one victory, Wanira on two in the lead, and B-Bomb yet to find that first win. Not to say that B-Bomb isn't the least experienced, he's actually the most experienced and highest OS player in this game. Just a couple good plays in previous matches from other players, resulting in his loss.
You're joining us on Desolation, which is actually quite a metal-heavy map for two players, but there's a lot of zones of control. These high grounds are very difficult to control all of when there is only two players, and if you do, you normally are letting leaks through the low ground passes. Looking at the Tank Tom and Pigs team, I would say that based on their positioning, they're going for some early aggression. Don't love this starting positioning. They've limited themselves to only four mechs between them for the start. When you compare that to B-Bomb and Wanira, their positioning is 5, though they haven't actually expanded beyond those initial two mexes. So it could be a very interesting start out of both of them. Some ticks coming in for scouting information, and one of the passes between the big rocks still open. So if that tick comes in fast enough, should be able to get on in and see everything that is happening. Some grunts coming out of Tank Tom that are going to push down towards the grunts of B-Bomb, though B-Bomb electing to take that high ground, opening up the pass for Tank Tom and his direct aggression.
I think the
So
early eco start here, the only difference between the two is Pigs has gone into 3 solos, which has meant that he's now bottomed out in metal. And with only such a low metal start, you've only got an income of 3.8 between those two mexes. We're going to see a choke. Those solos could have been turned into about 10 grunts. Sorry, pawns.
and these ticks getting in and doing some nice damage, managed to get almost the Tank Tom's entire wind field and one of his mexes. The LLT is up, but unfortunately it could not shoot through the winds, so those ticks getting great value. That was 96 metal invested to take out all of the eco, so great job from Wanira and B-Bomb. But Tank Tom is getting ready to come in with a vengeance. Depending on how these grunts split will depend on how this battle goes down. Looks like he's backing out, and unfortunately not the best engagement.
He's sending 2 constructors to build those mexes in the back line rather than one, as I would advise, and we'll probably see these fall down to just 1 grunt.
I think that is a misclick because he doesn't have one in his base that he normally would. That misclick
A 4th solar going down when he
costly.
doesn't actually need E. He needs metal, so a little bit of a lack of experience. I know Pigs has had a bit of a hiatus from the game, and that's potentially showing right now.
Got to balance that eco. It's all about building. It's all about getting metal when you're high on energy, and getting energy when you're high on metal. Oh, sorry, when you're low on energy, and then build power when you're high on both. Tank Tom doing decently with these engagements, but low grunt level engagements, just continuously back and forthing. But the metal reclaim is on B-Bomb's side of the field, so even if Tank Tom comes out slightly ahead, it is actually a loss. Pigs relatively uninterrupted going up this top lane. That's soon to change with some pawns getting ready to block this one. And
Only
checking out
6
the high
pawns out on
ground
the
to
front
see
line.
what's
Not going to get
going
much out of them against a commander. You probably need, I reckon, 8 pawns. If they're perfectly microed, 8 pawns is enough to take out a commander.
good surrounds and not infinite energy. We've seen 10 do it before, and I reckon you're right on that 8. But if there's plenty of energy for D-guns, you need more than 8. Very, very aggressive comm out of Wanira. Wanira is closing off the top ramp with LLTs right in front of Pig's base, and Pigs is unaware of it. Does have that one pawn moving around, but it is not in the right position to spot. It's heading on down into the base, so those LLTs will be a nasty surprise partway through. But Wanira not expecting a pawn to come on through here. So long as the pawn is micro decently well, this could be an entire wind field taken down. They have been built in groups of 2, but that is unfortunately no micro out of Pigs, which means that only a couple of winds go down.
Unfortunately, a defensive battle here for Tank Tom and Pigs, and that is, I think, just because of that eco disadvantage from that early raid, and then the solars. Now going into an advanced solar, no
Mate,
metal.
look at. I mean, he is out of energy. I'll give him that.
This is
He's out of
true,
energy,
but
but
wind's
this
the
is not the
answer.
way. This is not the way. Wind risk on this map is 12.2%, which isn't great, but it's not too bad. You definitely want to have at least a decent amount of wind.
Pigs bringing back his entire army to deal with 2 grunts as well. You only need 3 pawns, maybe even 2, just to deal with these. Oh, there we go. He split that up, and that's fixed now.
And you did say when those builders were going around the back area here, they would eventually get picked off, and the mexes go with them. So this is turning into quite the scramble for Pigs TV and Tank Tom. And with a big frontline aggression coming out of Winera, these units are going to crash into the pawn line. It is actually relatively even pawn numbers. It's 15. Sorry, it's 11 to 13 in favor. Sorry, actually it's 12 to 12 in
It's 12.
favor of no one. But the way that these are grouped, they'd be able to take on Pig TV's side of the pawns by running up the line and winning with very low damage. Pigs
Going
moving
in
in,
one at a time, you're just going
but
to lose them pretty quickly.
oh, good catch. That was a really good catch by Pigs TV. If he'd gone in there, he would have sacked his whole army for very, very little. But now that the Maces and the Rocketeers are coming up, it's just going to get into a worse and worse position. Tank Tom
Trying
trying
for
to
an
do.
army run by here. He could get it if he hugs that edge there.
It does look like he's hugging the edge.
No, he's going up the
Is
hill. No,
There we
he
go.
might
He's
get
hugged
it.
the edge. This could
So
be
if he just
big. This could
keeps
be really
going
big.
without hesitating whatsoever,
And that is what's happening.
but unfortunately
No,
he's not going to get it with the LLT there.
he's pushed into the LLT. He varied course too much trying to protect the grunts, and they're now in range and they're moving. Yep, that is an unfortunate. That is unfortunate right there. And and one of the things which, for the viewers' sake, they can't see what we can see. Tank Tom did not know there was an LLT there. Tank Tom didn't know that he was clear to run on through here. So some of the calls we make are calls you just can't make in game. The players have pinged that there is a lone comm up here, and Tank Tom is going to do his best to try and take it out. B-Bomb needs to get some LLTs down or get ready for some good D-guns. With only 5 grunts coming up, that's not the level of firepower needed to take out a comm, and there's 16 coming up for B-Bomb to protect, so this is going to be another losing engagement. Once you start losing in Beyond All Reason, even without the medal reclaim, the other team will continue to stack army advantage into army advantage, and it turns into a very harsh feeling, bleeding environment, and it's going to take something pretty spectacular out of Tank Tom and Pigs TV in order to win this one. Looking over to the top side, Pigs is just losing pawns as they're getting hit by the Rocketeers. Engagement coming down on between green and yellow. Good fight out of Tank Tom, doing the best he can with less units. He actually traded very favorably there. It was 4-4, but having less units in the first place means that a draw is a favorable engagement. But that second engagement was rough.
And no energy to power these guard towers. No energy going down in the background either. The economy heavily in the advantage of the blue team, up 130% on energy, so over double, and up 50% on metal.
Looking up in the top section, Winera has just overwhelmed Pigs TV's forces and absolutely crushed them down. Even though Pigs TV had his units perfectly lined up, he wasn't able to take the engagement just because of the army value of Winera. Good pushing in here from Pigs. Manages to snipe a couple of units for the cost of a few pawns. And he has made it past the defensive line, though not with enough numbers to make much of a difference. These units pushing in, and this is a big change that we see compared to one of the previous games where the teams were far, far too passive. Once they won an engagement, they would let the other team build up. This time, out of Winera, that doesn't look to be the case.
There's a commander. We're going to get a D-gun off.
Ooh, not quite. Not quite.
Just on the edge of that range there.
Pigs does have
D-Gun's
the
scaring
energy
off
to
the
spam
units.
down the D-Guns.
That commander dangerously close to the base, so if this goes down, we're going to see that lab fall.
He's got to pull the comm out at this point, but 1 or 2 shots from those maces and the comm is done. That's a huge chunk of the base, the build power down and most of the power down. That leaves Tank Tom on his own against 2 players, and the other 2 players have a huge advantage over the top.
Unfortunately, this game here, we're rotating, like we said, each of the players with each matchup, and probably the most disadvantaged game, lopsided with the 2 higher rated players on one team. When you're at 24, B-Bomb at 26, Tank Tom at 23, and Pigs. I don't think Pigs has played any ranked games at this level.
He certainly does have the volume of games under his belt, but unfortunately unable to turn that into a success, and Tank Tom getting his base decimated during all of this. With that lab going down, with the build power going down, there's very little that Tank Tom can do to get back into the game. If he was able to retain the lab, I would say this one might be worth fighting it out, but with all of these grunts coming on in, he's gone
Tank
for
Tom going
the...
with Control D,
Oh,
which
he's going to try and get as much as he can with the Control D. Good on him.
Taking him with him. There you have it, guys. So we're coming on top of this 3-game series. And getting the Doing Everything award there, rightly deserved, after getting 3 wins from 3 games. B-Bomb, Tom and Pigs all with 1 win, so quite even spread through that game. We hope you guys have enjoyed the last 3 games, and we would like to see you partake in these too. We do host games every Sunday. If you want to join our Discord, a link is down in the description. You can always drop replays there too. And remember to like and subscribe to our channel.
Thanks everyone for watching. Catch you next time.